of Hungary. Let president talk and remove this whole subsidy. We are looking for help from Russia.
Russia is communists. The West and the IMF, they are capitalists. They are actually exploiting our resources. Our leaders have been their puppets, and we cannot take it anymore.
Hi, woo-hoo. This is Janetta, and I need to have a very serious talk with you today, Africa, and African American, African Jamaican, African Dominican Republic, African Haiti, African Brazil, African the world. I need to have a serious talk with you. You know, it amazes me how much we don't know about what they have done to us, not only from slavery, but colonialism and all the other atrocities. We think that we have not had it so bad in the last maybe 50 years, 60 years. But when we look at things, you remember that the United States spent a lot of money going into Vietnam. 58,000 American troops were killed when going into Vietnam, because they felt like democracy was so important to push and pursue and to get communism thoughts out of Vietnam, that they pursued, and 58,000 men were killed in Vietnam. That's on the American side. I don't know how many thousands of men and women were killed in Vietnam. I don't know how many thousands of troops from Canada or some other countries were killed fighting alongside of the United States. But I know the figure from Vietnam because it's been a concern of mine, because my husband went to Vietnam. And when he went to Vietnam, he went because he was proud to be an American, but he definitely went because he needed a job. And they didn't really have any decent jobs for African Americans at that time, just like today. You have a lot of African Americans joining the military, the various branches, even the women now, because of joblessness and better opportunities for education. But that's not what I'm going to talk to you about. I'm not talking to you about America, but I want you to look at this picture so you understand. I'm over here in Tanzania, and it seems like when I'm talking to people, they can't understand why I talk about prejudice in our government, and prejudice that has been practiced throughout the world against the black man and black woman. They think that I just don't like white people, but it has nothing to do with that. I like white people. I just don't like with those that are in corporations and various high offices that think that they're supreme and better than us, or better than anybody else. You better believe they think they're better than the Japanese, but the Japanese make good cars. You better believe that they think that they're better than the Korean. You better believe that they think they're better than the Vietnamese. They actually think they're better. You do not see them celebrating friendships a lot with the Vietnamese, the Japanese, or the Chinese, because they don't belong to them. But they use them, and they have used them. And they have used them along with other whites against us, because we have what they want. And when you have what they want, they pursue you with all kinds of terror, trying to take what's yours. So let's go on. What I have been discovering through ChatGPT and Copilot, without spending a whole lot of time, and you can check me out. I so happen to want to know about the country of Bangladesh, because they're in the on the news right now, but maybe not in your neighborhood. But they're on the news right now about the people protesting in Bangladesh because of the wages or the things that happen. But Bangladesh has been a prosperous country. Why has Bangladesh been prosperous? Bangladesh has no real natural minerals. They have no great, big, huge forest. There's nothing that you can really account for that Bangladesh has. But in the last 50 years, the United States has invested over $50-something billion in Bangladesh to help stimulate their economy through manufacturing and other industries. So Bangladesh has had plenty of political struggles. Bangladesh is also a friend of China and the United States. It seems that they can cooperate and get along with China when they're dealing with some countries. But when it comes to us, there's a tug of war. Who's going to get them? It's not about helping, it's who has possession of them. Now, Bangladesh has 174 million people. They were given, throughout the last 50 years, over 80 billion, or $8 billion, I'm sorry, dollars, $8 billion. And trade agreements with them. Bangladesh does a lot of business in the United States. In Bangladesh, they don't have American companies that are making money and sending that money into the United States. Those companies in Bangladesh belong to the people of Bangladesh, to private industry in Bangladesh. Not the same. Now, that's Bangladesh. Bangladesh, if you look at it, you check it out, it's not considered an impoverished country or underdeveloped country. It's not considered as an underdeveloped country. Okay, let's take Korea. The Korean War, the Korean poverty. And Korea was impoverished. And at one time, when the military men were stationed over to Korea, they always brought them back a Korean woman because of the poverty. They wanted to come to the United States for better opportunity. There was one time when Koreans used to come to the United States for better opportunity, but they don't leave their country now to come to the United States for better opportunity. Why? The United States has helped stimulate their country with billions of dollars over the last 50 years or more. Industry. They even help them with things that we developed for our hair, black products that we own now. The Koreans own it. They do a $500 billion trade in our hair products for our hair. We invented it, but we could not get the stimulated economy to develop our own business in the United States. But they gave it to Korea. Now we get our hair products manufactured in Korea. And Korea now is making cars. They got universities that some of you are going to. The Korean economy has been established. It's doing very well. And plus, the United States government is protecting its borders from North Korea. They're stimulating. They didn't move bases in Korea to take possession of Korea. They moved their military in Korea to fight against the Chinese. But you don't have any Chinese here. There's no Chinese country. There's no Russian country close to here. So they don't need to have military here to defend against the Chinese or the Russians. But North Korea is just right across the street from China, just a bridge separating them. And then North Korea and South Korea actually used to be one country, but now it's divided into two countries. but they're successful. They went through a war that tore those countries up, that they had nothing, absolutely nothing. Now, in the last 50 years, the growth of those countries are phenomenal. The people are doing very well. There's no American company in Korea, South Korea, manufacturing things. Those companies belong to South Korea, those companies. We're trading products, and the money that's being made through those trades are not going to another country, to America or to Europe. That money is staying right there in Korea. Vietnam, the same way. So if you have your own manufacturing companies and you're sending products out for trade, guess what? That money is your money. And your GDP growth is yours. And it changes the prosperity of the people living in your country. Let me think of another country. Little bitty Costa Rica. Little bitty Costa Rica has a population of, it has been until a lot of Americans have gone there or foreigners have gone there, but basically Costa Rica has 5,000 people. And in the last 50 years, they have done everything they can. The United States has done everything they can to stimulate the economy of Costa Rica. $2.6 billion, I believe. It might be more. But they do a lot of trading with Costa Rica. They have helped a lot in Costa Rica to help its development. They say that for their industries and for Costa Rica to be successful. Now, when you look it up, they've helped all these countries and even more to help be successful. But when you compare what they've done with countries that have a population, big population of black people, I thought I'd look up Guyana. Guyana is totally black. I mean, it's in South America, or I'm not that good in geography, but that's where that guy named Jim Jones went, I think. And, wherever. But Guyana's close to Venezuela. And for years, they didn't do anything for Guyana, hardly at all. Gave them a little aid. But in the last few years, they found some oil in Guyana. Now, the people in Guyana, their status hasn't changed a whole lot. It's better than it was. But most of the people that are coming into Guyana are people that are coming from foreign countries to base their companies there. But it doesn't say the United States helped Guyana with aid to stimulate their ability to trade their economy. But where they're thriving and they're doing very well. But there are some countries that the United States has really stimulated their economy and done quite a bit for. And it seems that it's more of the countries that they've gone to war with, or they've been able to fight wars in, but they stimulate their economy. It makes you wonder, when you look at Africa, when you look at the continent, when you look at the countries over here, and they have not been able to be successful in the last, 60 years almost? Since colonialism, the colonialization of Africa was supposed to have ceased and desist. So let's look at Africa. I thought I'd take Nigeria. That's a good country to take because Nigeria has given more to U.S. and the world than any other country in the world as far as help and assistance of what they've done for the rest of the world, whether it was through slavery or colonization. Nigeria has done so much. And so I looked at it and I wondered, well, what have they given Nigeria? You know, I told you they gave Bangladesh $52 billion. Well, they say they can't really determine how much they've given Nigeria, but they've given it several $billion. But in Nigeria, the GDP is growing, but that GDP does not translate into how the people of Nigeria are living. You see, these African countries, they're building businesses and privatizing those businesses, and those businesses make money, and they send that money to wherever, out of the country, whether it's India, whether it's China, whether it's whatever. It doesn't make any difference, but they make certain agreements. Whether it's the United States, and it's usually the United States and Canada. Canada has just flourished because of Africa. Europe has actually flourished because of Africa. All these things that are causing Africa's GDP to grow has not made Africa less impoverished. There's no intention of the United States and these European countries to increase the prosperity of any black country. So you think that because I'm an American and I live in America, and they fed you some kind of lies about me, about your sister and your brothers in the United States, that these people are concerned about your prosperity? No, they want to keep you poor. Ibrahim Traoré, I'm not good at names. Let's just say the president of Burkina Faso right now. Forgive me, but I get all upset when I think about this stuff. That you really don't think, you think these people want to help you and you blaming each other for everything. Now I'm telling you, Nigeria, yes, it's your leaders. Your leaders have a problem, but look beyond your leaders. Come on. Because all of you in your heart, you want to go right across the bridge and go into the United States and sit in the comfort of the white folks. The very people that enslaved you. Come on, let's look at the facts and pin them up through the wall. Let's get out of this. All right, Brother Ibrahim, president of Burkina Faso, said life is a triangle. Not life is a triangle. We're in a triangle situation. Let's just say at the top of the triangle are the United States and Europe. That's who's at the top of the triangle. The imperialist, the colonists, they're at the top of the triangle. They colonized much of South America, North America, not North America, Central America, Africa, the islands, the Caribbean. Colonization. They have no intention, and slavery, they have no intention on setting you free. So at the other angle, not at the top angle, the first angle of the triangle, they are there at the top of the triangle. The Russians, the Chinese, the Indians, the whoever, everybody else is on the other corner of the triangle. And you are on the other corner of the triangle. We Africans, we're the slaves. They have no intention. They want you to believe that Russia is going to do this to you, China is going to do this to you, but there's proof of their slavery and colonization. In fact, India was colonized by them. You studied, you look it up. You look up Africa and what they've done for Africa to increase the prosperity of Africa and what they've done for other countries. You hit yourself and torture yourself because you say, look, if Vietnam could do it, if China could do it, if Korea could do it, they even help the Chinese, who they don't like, but they helped them. They will help anybody but you. And making you think that you don't have the intelligence, the ability, the skill, the knowledge to be able to do what we need to do to get out of this mess. We need to get out of this mess. And I'm going to tell you again, they have not given you nothing but something to keep you handicapped, to give you some kind of gift, to make sure that you think that they're giving you something. They're taking everything you got, flying back on the plane, and bringing you back a doggone loaf of bread, and you happy. You're happy. Buana. Yes, Buana. Yes, Buana. You're happy because they smile at you. And after all, they gave you their Jesus. And he's white, and you don't want to mess up him. You don't want to punish him because, hey, you are poor because God got everything in control, and everybody else in the world is progressing, and you're not. But that's what you think your plight in life. Because after all, we've been told we're cursed, right? We're cursed. You got black skin because you're cursed. You got nappy hair because you're cursed. You got big lips because you're cursed. You're cursed. And you've been walking in the doggone curse for all these years without even knowing it. You don't check them out. But now you have a chance to check them out. I want you to look it up. I want you to prove me wrong. You look what they've done to help these other countries that have prospered. You look at what they've done. They've taken from us and given to them. They're taking for us. How many doctors do you have from Japan? Who else is giving to you like we're giving to you? Who else is supporting you like we are supporting you? How many? What country? Where have you gone? And I checked to find out what they have done for Africa with ChatGPT. And they have answers kind of like this. We have given aid for schools, and we have given aid for some other educational programs, and we have given for medical medicines, and we have given for some other little random things that they give you some welfare money or some aid. But there's not one thing in there that says that they help you build your businesses, your infrastructure, and your trade. There's not one thing in there that said that they've ever done anything to prosper you. But when you look at Bangladesh, you look at Costa Rica, you look at Vietnam, you look at Colombia, you look at Korea, and when you look at them, they tell you how they have aided those countries in becoming successful countries. Okay? That's the same thing they pull on us in the United States. That's why we don't have more businesses in the United States. They'll help the Korean that comes in. They'll help the Vietnamese that come in. They'll help the Colombian that comes in. They'll help the Chinese that come in. They'll help everybody but you. And if they do help you, they make sure they help but one or two. They don't want too much. So as you young people, as you're marching, and when you're talking and you're determined, don't stop with Tinubu in Nigeria. Don't stop with Ruda in Kenya. Don't just look at us. You need to look at them. Now, I know they have used us as a tool, but a screwdriver can't screw in if a person. It has to be a person that picks the screwdriver up and uses it. The screwdriver doesn't do it by himself. Nigeria did not get in the position it's in by itself, by the people inside. It took the people on the outside to do what they did in Nigeria. But you cannot, if you don't have the tool to use, then you can't do what you need to do. So we need to stop being the tool that they use to hurt ourselves, to keep us from having anything. We're allowing them to use us against each other, making those think that they're somebody, they're the elite, they're better than someone because they're smarter or whatever. They got a way of buttering people up and using them. And those that they don't use, they're going to try to kill. Using them. Thinking they have been nice to us. We've been getting killed thinking they've been nice to us. We've done some things against each other because of poverty. We need to get out of this. We need to get out of an impoverished mind. We need to get out of impoverished thoughts and ideas and stop believing that because we're on our knees 24/7, that the heavens are going to go open up and blessings are going to be poured out of heaven while we're down there praying. While we're down there praying, they're busy doing stuff. They don't ask God to send it to them. They go up to God and get it from him and start doing it. That's what we need to do. Please help me. Please help my son. Please help my daughter. Please help me get a job. Oh God, please help me. Oh, I just want your help. I need your help. Just please help me. Help me, help me, help me, help me. Help me make a change. I don't know why things are like they are because you must be teaching me something. Well, we've learned some pretty good lessons. We need to get off of our knees and make a stand. I'm not saying you don't need to talk to God. I didn't say that. It's but how you talk to him. You're begging. I hope that he hears me. I hope that he blesses me. I hope that he does this. I hope he will. I don't know if he will. Well, according to what I read, it said that he loved us. And if he loves us, then he knows we need it. And he don't need to test us because he knows exactly what you are going to do. So you get out there and you make a stand for what you want, what you need. Nobody's going to give it to you. You got to take it. And you got to take it. The violent take it by force. That's what it says in the Bible. You storm the portals. You open the door, bam, give it to me. It's mine, it belongs to me. I want it. And I'm not going to leave until I get it. And stop all this. I don't know, maybe. Be blessed, my sister. Oh, no. Being blessed, my sister, don't put no food in my stomach. But you make a stand. You make a stand.
In the casket is Ibrahim Wanjiku. He was only 19
You
years
got
old.
everything we have everything we need to do what we need to do. We can plug the oil up. We can plug the gold up. We can plug everything up.
Yeah, you feel embarrassed. But Allah, because whatever they have done is not fair.
They put sanctions on you. How come you can't put sanctions on them? They put embargoes on you. How come you can't put embargoes on them?
He's laid to rest.
When you don't do what they want you to do, they put an embargo or a sanction on you. Let's get off our knees, stand on our feet, and stop looking down, but look them straight in the eye. You got my stuff, and I want it back. If you want what I have, we got to make a deal. It's not going to be a deal you make and something you give to me. It's going to be a deal that I decide. I'm establishing it. Bangladesh don't have anything to negotiate with them with. Colombia doesn't have anything to negotiate with them with. Vietnam doesn't have anything to negotiate. They might have a few, little bit. There's a little bit of oil every place, seemingly. But they don't have what you have. Black people. And this applies not only to black people in Nigeria, it applies to black people throughout the world. Throughout the world. We have power, but we don't think we do. We have power. You think about it. They wouldn't have any basketball games if it wasn't for us. They wouldn't have any football games if it wasn't for us. They wouldn't have anybody hardly singing if it wasn't for us. They wouldn't be able to sell any music if it wasn't for us. And evidently, with 389 doctors that are African in New York or throughout the United States, they'd be dying if it wasn't for us. Not including the other black doctors. Not including them. What about the other workers? Flight attendants, everybody. Men and women in the military, what about them? If they wake up one morning and say, we all of us black people are leaving the military, all of us, we just walking away, getting out of there. But no, you worried about your monthly check. You worried about they might hurt a few of you, but they won't be able to hurt all of you. We need to make a stand. And it's been proven to us what making a stand will do. Muhammad Ali made a stand, and yes, he suffered the consequences for a short time. But the dignity and pride that he had and the respect they had for him was because he made a stand. If he had not made that stand, they would not have honored him like they do. They need to start honoring us. They don't honor us because we have not made a stand. I know this video, I tripped over a lot of words, but forgive me for that because I am upset. I'm excited. I'm 81 years old and I don't have a long time to talk to you. But while I'm here, doggone it, I'm not going to let you get away with thinking you don't know. You can find out. You can research. You don't even have to spend a lot of time. Just put a question in GPT or Copilot or one of those other AI things and find out the truth. Look at it. Look up the word colonization. Look up the word imperialization. Look up the word globalization. Look up those words. Look, they just sound like cute words. They don't sound too dangerous, but they're dangerous. Imperialist. Imperialist. Dominate. If they take Africa, they got the rest of the world. Because we got everything that is needed. if they get Venezuela, if they get the Guyana, if they get all these places, they got wealth, they can take the rest of the world. If they took Iraq, the first thing they did when they got to Iraq was go to the oil fields. Because they want the rest of the world, and it has nothing to do with white people. It has to do with power, corporations, and they have to be white. Why? I don't know. The American white man don't even know it. They've been taking money from him, bringing it to Africa and telling them how poor Africa is, and raising money from them and lying to them all the time. And they're collecting money from the people in the United States, being so sorry for the African, probably in England and all the other parts, in Germany too, because I heard them raising money in Germany too. And they've been juicing and milking these poor white people to send money over here to Africa. And they've been taking money out of Africa. They haven't let them know the reason why Africa is poor, because we corporations are making our trillions of dollars off of them. If they said that, you better believe all them offerings and all that money that come over here, it would stop like that. It's a business. And they're using people because they're ignorant. We were taught that our government and our system, America's system, was one of the best systems in the world. They're so compliant, they're so helpful, they're so liberal, they're so this, they're so just. There's no injustice in the United States. Everything is just. America does things that are good. They do things that are wonderful. They do things in the Christian manner and thought. All of our presidents are Christian, even though we had one, the Bible was upside down, he didn't even know it. But we were taught that we're going to all these countries to help people out. We don't really know that we're going to these countries to get the oil and whatever those people have. We don't know that our boys, our men are dying in these countries. We think they're dying for the United States government. We think they're dying for the freedom of the American people. 58,000. And those 58,000 are not really justify all the people that died because of Vietnam. Some of those men came home, they were afflicted with Agent Orange. They produced children that have medical problems up to today. They have medical problems. They cut their lives all short. For what? But I'm going to let you know something. It's important. I should be like Juno Jennings. Pastor Juno Jennings said, the Bible says we've been a fool. The Bible says we've been taken advantage of. The Bible said it's time to wake up, arise, and do something about it. Get up off your knees. Raise your head. Open your eyes so you can see what's going on. It's time for you to stand up and stop abusing each other and using each other. Stand up and stop looking at these Hollywood fools and these young men and young women that are singing songs that they don't know what they're talking about, and following them and just having fun all the time. You're having fun to your demise and to your children's demise. You have just dug your grave and your misery. You have just proclaimed it and put a seal on it. You better open your eyes, stand up like a man and a woman, and stop mistreating each other. I don't care who you marry, but you marry in respect and honor of who you are, a black woman and a black man. Be proud of yourself. Always talking about what black people don't do, what they don't have, what they won't do. We have come under some circumstances that you don't understand. Some mind washing and brain, what do they call it? Brainwashing. We have been under brainwashing before I came here, now, and it's still now. Brainwashing. 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 We've allowed them to brainwash us. Even by the movies we make, we continue to allow them and to do what they want us to do in movies, to perpetrate their lies about us even further. That's why the young people over here think that we don't do nothing but drugs. They're surprised when I tell them I've never done any drugs and I'm not an alcoholic recovered, because that's all they think we do. By the movies they've seen. Come on. That's what they want us to see of each other. I'm finished for today. But there's more, because there's more and more and more and more. There's more. There is more. We got ourselves in this mess. We can get ourselves out of this mess. We got ourselves in this mess by following foolish leaders. And not questioning them. They have nerve. Like that leader come out, Nigerian Tinubu come out, and he talking like, well, I don't know why you're upset. Your belly is empty, but you should be upset, because just think, I just made a budget, and my budget included, I'm going to give you this, and I'm going to give you that, and I'm going to give you a little bit of this, and I just gave you 70,000 nairas. And a bag of rice is about 30,000, but I gave you 70,000. And you got supporters over here saying, give him a chance. He had a chance. In fact, one of his protesting videos that he made in 2012, he's saying the very same thing I'm saying. And now he's talking about give it a chance. He was building his political idealism and where he was going to go, and he was building up an audience political right then and there. And now he gets in office, and he knows the changes that need to be made. He knows what it takes to be enriched, because he's enriched. He's not a poor man that went into the Nigeria. Do they call it White House? I don't know. But hey, this is Janetta. I'm going to close for now. I talk too much, but I'm talking to you just like a friend. I'm talking to you just like a mama. I'm telling you, I've seen it, and it ain't going to change because you praying. Praying makes you feel good, but it don't make the change. You're going to have to stand your ground and decide that what you are doing for your future and for the future of your children is worth risking your life even. You have to decide. That's what was wrong with those that I grew up with, and some of those now that are still here, and some of those are coming along. They have not decided. They just want a comfortable little spot. It's all about them. But they forget. It takes an us. Nobody lives here by themselves. No man or woman is an island. Hey, this is Jeanette. And if you like this video, I want you to share it. I want you to share it even if you don't like it. Give it to somebody else. They might appreciate it. Make some comments. Subscribe to my channel. And Stay tuned. Listen to me on Black Suit Radio on Saturdays at around by 8 o'clock Central Time. But check it out, blacksuitradio.com. They have a schedule that tells you exactly when you'll hear my voice. But hey, talk to you later. Love you. Hey, this is Jamila, and you're watching Africa Speak.